The principle of indeterminacy in quantum mechanics defines that which is not determined. As an initial matter, here is the definition of determinate. 1. Established, prefixed. 2. Of quantity whose value is certain is known. 3. Of thing whose appearance or characters are definite and precise. And of indeterminate. 1. Undetermined. Of thing that has not been specified, precisely defined. 2. In algebra, a term used to denote a system of equations or an equation that admits of infinite solutions. It must be made clear that the principle of indeterminacy does not indicate the impossibility of seeing or precisely specifying something, which exists but is not determinable. It indicates something that is not determined. Because it does not exist, it is not possible to calculate or define it. In quantum mechanics, this principle indicates that there is a limit beyond which reality is not determinate and therefore does not exist. In other words, the limit of reality as we know and see it has been reached. We could say that what there is before reality or what causes reality is the field of predilection on which this principle of indeterminacy is based. And it is damn close to Scientology and Asperianism, since we are talking about the creation of reality. Mathematically, it is expressed as delta x, where delta means difference and x the position, thus the indeterminacy of position in space, to which delta v is multiplied, where v means velocity, thus the indeterminacy of velocity. Delta x delta v results in a constant, little matter the value of x and v. In all sciences, the term constant means a quantity that possesses a fixed value. This corresponds to a kind of slider indicating that if we want to have more certainty about the position delta x of a particle, we will obligatorily have more indeterminacy about the velocity delta versus, and vice versa. Let us say that we want to increase the precision of an atom's position, delta x, by 3 times. Then we will have to increase the imprecision delta v of the speed of the atom itself by 3 times. If we then add the mass of the particle we are evaluating, in our case an atom, we obtain a universal constant. That is, a constant that can be used in all calculations uniformly. It will always be valid. It is then written delta xm delta v. It just so happens that the result we obtain corresponds exactly to the constant of Planck, which is spelled h, indicating the proportionality between the energy and the frequency of a photon, the value of which is 6.62 multiplied by 10 power minus 34. We recall that proportionality indicates a relationship. For example, if a weight is attached to a spring, the elongation is proportional to the weight attached. This value is very close to the harmonic of the gravitational constant, which we use in phasing, whose value is 6.67 power minus 11. An amount so small that we use in phasing the harmonic starting at 6. For convenience. In frequency phasing, by taking harmonics of these values h and g, we explode the energy of the bank of the composite, postulated and static universes. This is because we are working with frequencies that take into consideration the very essence of the MEST, theta and static universes. The indeterminacy of MEST at the atomic level, that is, the inability to have something definite, therefore not measurable because it does not really exist, but only potentially or virtually, leads us to concepts that we are not in the habit of naturally conceiving. Let us say that an atom taken individually, until it is measured, we can only have, to a certain approximation, the probability where it will manifest. But until it appears, it does not exist as MEST, we can neither measure it nor see it. That is why we say that particles are both waves and core. We are analyzing how reality, which is determinate, i.e., perfectly measurable and of which a cause in the past will create an effect in the present, which in turn will determine the future, is formed by indeterminate quantum phenomena which are neither measurable nor pure potentiality. The particle chooses whether to go left or right by its own choice and without any possibility of knowing in advance. In the 1960s, the question was asked whether there were hidden variables that we do not know about that determine whether the particle chooses to go left or right. In 2022, the Nobel Prize in Physics is given to Alain Aspect, a French researcher, for proving absolutely that there can be no hidden variables and proving the potential state of existence of a quantum system before a measurement. Now we are in the thick of the subject of Scientology and Asperianism, or we are talking about theta and static qualities, not MEST. There is in addition a very special factor of MEST. We can obtain the most exact position possible in space, delta x, only up to a certain point, since the maximum speed is that of light, about 300,000 kilometers per second. In fact, in the calculation, the maximum value of delta x, the position, cannot be less than a certain distance or area. Since the value of delta v, the velocity, cannot be more than 300,000 kilometers per second, the speed of light. This length in calculating position is derived from three fundamental constants: the speed of light, Planck's constant, the relationship between the energy and frequency of a photon, and universal gravitation. It is the best possible estimate of minimum length of MEST, and its value is 1.616 multiplied by 10 power minus 35 meters. In modern phasing, we are in the presence of universal constants that are the very essence of the universe in which we live and are the manifestation of the theta and static universes. We could say that the quantum uncertainty principle delta x mass delta v equals h perfectly reflects the modern phasing of Asperianism. This is a genius approach that does not exist in Scientology and that Ron, with the development of scientific knowledge, has been able to integrate into modern phasing. Thank you, Ron.